Before in this room, we've looked at mostly like this thing, socket encrypted shells. And I'm curious to explore this practically later. And we're now at the actual common shell payload, so and I finished these until this one at least half a year ago, so I really have to reread everything here. And back then I think it was just very new, you know. Yeah, I had hardly even tried Netcat before this room. I had, because just the upload ones that we did before, I think that's the reason why I jumped ahead to this one, because it had these rooms. I think that's why. I have to look at this quickly. Because maybe we should like tell them a tip that have this upload ones room at least at the end of this, because yeah, it's not in there, it's in here, right here. So if we look at the start of this one, yeah, it's like on the level, this is a host file, you're supposed to add the stuff, that's the level first, and then let's see. Yeah, you're supposed to know these rooms that are later, you know, later in this, before you do this room. So this room is really at the wrong place, you know, in the path, because you need to know things you learn afterwards. But the shell is the one we're doing right now, and the web enumeration one is also afterwards. So if we go back here and we'll look at, yeah, right, so we were at this one. Maybe it's not even in this one. Well, forward, I guess it is. And introduction, and let's click this one. Have I finished this? Yeah, I have. Yeah, but it's not in this path. I'm kind of sure that to finish this one, it was just because of this, you know, that it was mentioned here. So this room is kind of in the wrong place. And then you get this one that's required already up here. Anyway, let's just continue now. So let's go to the right place in the notes. Shells. I do have a special one for shells now. That's why I added changed the numbers now here just a few minutes ago, because I definitely haven't streamed for like almost an hour already. Let's see, how long is it? 47 minutes. Feels like 5. Anyway, shells. We have done this, so good, but we have not yet made any notes, I believe, for this one. So it's about time. Common shell payloads. So I guess I'm going to read this. And MKFIFO is not really a shell thing. This is just a suggestion on how to work around some things, right? Though I've never seen anyone use this kind of thing. So this is for hiding stuff, right? Do this. Let's actually read this again. So, we'll soon be looking at generating payloads with MSF Venom. But before we do that, let's take some more common payloads using the tools we've already covered. A previous task mentioned that we're looking at some ways to use Netcat as a listener for a bind shell. So we start with that. Let's first just see what did we use before with Netcat. So let's look at the Netcat notes. And I'm not sure I added much here, right? Because this is like the normal thing, you know? These notes are horrible. Yeah, it's just this again here, and an example of what you do on the other machine. And this one, send HTTP. Or echo. I'm like, what? What did I mean? You know? When did I type this? Long ago, probably. So this is before I even started doing like help here. Let's just call this help instead. And let's call this common commands instead. And I guess we'll actually add this one here. So this is the normal one. I guess it could be called listen. What happened now? Because I selected. Alright, I have a problem. Oh, I almost said a bad word there. But how do I undo that? Because I had other keys connected to this, and my obsidian is changed. I did look at my other obsidian, the old one, and I looked at all the key shortcuts, and I thought I had them all down. This is the old one now, and I could have just copied stuff. But how? What have I missed? What have I missed? One of the hotkeys definitely is not there. So let's go to the settings over here and use logic. Also, we need to find how to make this tinier. Just experimenting. No. So, what is this? That's collapsing and expanding. Okay. If we have any Obsidian genius in chat, please help. How do I make the text tinier again? Because Control scroll wheel doesn't work, and I clicked twice on Control and the key that I usually use to make a comment. You know, so I usually go here and I click this key. So let's look at the settings here first, and hotkeys, and this should be like size, zoom. So how could these be blank? So zoom in, I believe, is what we actually did. So let's do control and the plus and control and the minus here. So now if we go out of this and I do control and the minus, then we can get back to the size. You know, maybe this is good though. We'll see. We have it back. So now let's find the shortcut for making, like, what's it called? Code, maybe? Code? Toggle code? So maybe it's the toggle code one. And did I keep the other one open? So this is a public one. So this has to be, if we do code here, yeah, look here. We have another one, toggle code. So toggle code is set. So I missed stuff. I tried to go, you know, through it all and make sure that I had all the settings because I thought that was easier. But now at least we know that this one needs to be this, and hopefully it'll work as it's supposed to again. Let's mark this, and no, it's still there. Cause now I know I can undo this, you know, with my new, I have this new one set here. That's so annoying. So again, code. Let's reset this one and add again, because I might have clicked the wrong key. It's say plus equals. That's not equals for me, but I guess it's another keyboard. So annoying. So how did I solve this problem last time? If I click this, I get plus. Now I can minus it, so it doesn't matter as much. But this is a plus key. It's not equals. There's equals on my 0. So we also have that, and we have that, and we have this, meaning it's this character. Meaning it's shift, that key, and space. I guess I will leave it for now and copy these down characters, because they're not easy to type on the Swedish keyboard. 3 key presses and not at the same time. So I have to click shift, this key, and space. Yeah. So if I were to select something and I shift this key and space, I can do it that way. But I had my wonderful shortcut that worked. Whatever. I'll get over it. So, let's put this down here and think this is old stuff. This is the common one we use all the time. And I had the lesson here. let's do listen for connection. I can do a colon there too. And this is a more advanced one if we're going to add this one here. But let's read on first. So this is, we checked our, from the previous task, we checked our basic one. In some version of Netcat, including NCEXE and Kali's version, there's an -e option, which we have here in the notes. -e. But all of them doesn't have that. And if they don't, we could use this thing instead, right? Connecting to the above listener with Netcat would result in a bind shell. So, this one, if I copy this, will we get the characters in there? Yes, so we don't have to type them. Talk about workaround. Connect it to, and these notes I don't only make, I don't make them for everybody, not just for me, so I want them to be obvious. Connect to listener from, I know I used target because of that's what I used. Listen for connection. And then we do this. If target NC does not have -e, and this we want. I guess I can get used to that, right? I don't like to have lots of special things, so that I won't have it working if I reinstall. And this is just a different directory. Apparently, things like settings in Obsidian and plugins are different on the different ones that you have. So these all have different settings, which is kind of odd because to me they're just directories, you know, and this I start them in this program. Whatever. I want them all to have the same plugins. So if we have the E option, we can use this. Connecting to the above listener with Netcat will result in a bind shell on the target. So again, now they're saying bind shell. That's why I'm thinking here. We're looking for the way to use the listener. Bind shell in some versions of Netcat. Because bind shell, I've learned here, is when you actually doesn't listen on your own machine. That's the normal reverse shell. Bind shell is when you listen on the target. So what did they actually say here? Equally for reverse shell, connecting back with NC. Oh, didn't I actually read the line? I just read the E. Yeah. So I didn't actually read what I did. So payload NC. Yeah, because this is what I thought I copied, and I didn't copy this. So there, and also not those, but oh gosh, what did I do? Page down instead of end, I think. So IP Y1990. That's someone else's stuff. And I guess IP is the IP address. This was a very odd note. So let's instead do IP port. And this can be 443 because that's kinda... Nah, let's be general. This is for everybody. And then to connect to this one, we have the IP, the port, and I think this is right. And this is, as it said, for bind. And I believe if we expand, can we just do it like this? I'm just reading. Reveal file in navigation there. So here we have socket. And these are new nodes that we just made. So not old messy nodes, but new nice nodes. So we have here reverse shell and the bind shell for socket. And here we have the same thing. Listen on our machine. Can be used like. So maybe we should call it the same thing to be logical. That's why I'm in here. So let's have the logic and have the same heading even, cause why not? So if we copy this, and we don't have the help above that, which is, you know, when we go back to this one now, it will have, no, the help is still minimized. This is odd because sometimes it forgets, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, so instead of common commands, let's have shells. And let's put this, all of this on top and have like more. I think that was 3, yeah. And there. And this is 2, so it's a top one. Then we have 4 header. Listen on our machine, and this is just like it, but it's not like it because it's actually this now. And instead of common commands, listen on our machine. And then to go back to this one, and let's have them both open. Then we have Windows and Linux here, but I guess this is with Linux. And if you think something is not logical, please tell me so I can make better notes. Because if I try to explain for other people and for myself not remembering this in I don't know how long, it should be easy to understand. And then we have the bind shell bit. And then I guess I'll have to look back into the start here. Because we do have netcat here, right? But this is more basic. And here's the bind shell. So I guess their purpose when explaining this here is not to make advanced commands, but to just, you can do these things. There are things like reverse and bind shells. And this is probably why I do 4-4-3 all the time, right? Because this is where I learned it. If we're looking to obtain a bind shell on the target, we can assume yeah, so this is to connect it back. And there are no options, nothing. Just a basic thing, meaning this is not there. So let's actually copy this line because we have alternatives here. And we will test this later. Is this enough? Let's do to do, because I did that yesterday on something. So I can go through the notes and say, here I need to test this, I need to add more notes here, I need to understand this thing. So I have like a common thing I can search for. No, because this is a bind shell, so this is not that. I just completely squashed everything. So this is not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be here, where we have the same thing again, and not this. So I still don't know why this would be, because there are no options. This one doesn't have any. I'm just confused. Part of it is that we did this recently, and here it was very clear, you know? So, no, I know these commands better. That is very stupid because I haven't used this even for real. But I just use the normal Netcat one all the time. I haven't used anything complicated. Anyway, let's add this. So we get the same structure as in this file. And then we'll just need to learn what actually, and we'll have to try it all. But this wasn't helpful, actually. We'll look at this in task 8, and we're in task 8 now, so let's go continue. And let's actually read this again. Now this is about the -E. It's not available all over the place. And this is for bind. A previous task mentioned that we will be looking into some ways to use Netcat as a listener for bind shell. In some version of Netcat, and this is how we do this, right? And that's what I did put in my notes, right? Yeah. And then we need a new way if it doesn't have -E. And that's what we're going to do now. Let's not care about the other stuff for now. And this thing, no, it's already gone. And the other thing that I had if we undo this, this line, what on earth was this for then? It's more like this one without an E. And that's why I put it here. We need to check this. We need to run all these and try them. Because I don't really think these instructions are clear. So let's read, because they're supposed to explain it here, right? So we're talking bind now, meaning we start the listener on the target and connect with our machine. In some version of Netcad, the E doesn't exist in some, E exists in some. If we have E, we do the listener like this. Meaning this is on the target machine. And I believe this is what we have here in the notes. And then, I think I got it figured out so far now at least. Connecting to the above listener with Netcad would result in a bind shell on the target. Yeah. I'm not sure why they call it bind shell though. That's kind of odd. Equally, for a reverse shell, connecting back with would result in a reverse shell on the target. So now we get the reverse shell one. We use this to connect on the reverse shell. And this is kind of right, confirming IP port. Yeah, so now we can remove this, I feel. There. This is how we connect back when we use a reverse shell on the target. However, this is not including in most versions of Netcad, as it is widely seen to be insecure. Funny. On Windows, where a static binary is nearly always required anyway, this technique will work perfectly. On Linux, however, we would instead use this code. So, if we copy this, we have our next comment here. If we don't have E, we can use this. And MKFIFO is a bit more clear to me now. I know that this creates something called a named pipe, which is just a file that is a temporary storage for something. And then at least at the end we remove this temporary storage. It's like stdio, only we make our own, you know? And then this. We use this temporary place. Let's go to this and let's make this attempt explanation first, and then we'll look back at the ChatGPT one. The following paragraph is the technical explanation for this command. It's slightly above level, blah blah. We don't care, we want to know everything. This command first creates a named pipe. Yeah. And it starts a Netcat listener here and connects the input of the listener, arrow in, to the output of the named pipe. So the output of this is automatically, since this is the arrow type. Yes, that's logical. The output of the Netcat listener, the commands we send. So the output is what's usually used when we pipe something. So we pipe this into SH, yeah, and then the output of this, apparently, SDR output, and sending SD out in self. Why doesn't it start with saying this one? Because that's what's first in the line. These are the things that make you confused, right? Do it in the order it's actually in the line, right? And then it does STDR. And this is where I'm kind of a bit confused, because I don't know how and one works. But I guess it's like pointing to 2 is error, so 1 must be standard. But let's ask ChatGPT for this too, actually. Please explain the use of 1 and 2. No, of course I need to type it in numbers. 1 and 2, and the and 1. No. In particular, it can read it for us, right? Let's have it read it for us.
In Unix-like operating systems, file descriptors are used to manage input and output streams for processes. Here's what each part of 2 and 1 does. 2. This refers to file descriptor 2, which corresponds to the standard error, STER, stream. Standard error is where error messages and diagnostics are typically sent in Unix-like systems. This symbol is used for redirection. It directs the output of the following command to a file or another file descriptor. And 1. This is a bit of shorthand. The end here indicates that what follows is not a file name but rather another file descriptor. 1 refers to file descriptor 1, which corresponds to the standard output, STOUT, stream. Combining and 1 essentially means redirect file descriptor 2 to the same place as file descriptor 1. So, 2 and 1 means redirect STER, file descriptor 2, to the same location as STOUT, file descriptor 1, dot. This is commonly used to ensure that both regular output and error messages are sent to the same destination when using redirection. In the context of the provided command, it ensures that any error messages produced by the shell are also sent to the FIFO along with regular output.
And this is kind of what I assumed. Just clearing up that the AND makes sure, really shows that this is not a file name, but a file descriptor. I'm thinking, should I add this to the notes actually, like a Linux notes? So let's do this. Let's make a new one so we don't have to go back to these. And we go down to Linux that I now have below. And I'm thinking I need to have something about the new note. 1 and 2 for std IO, or actually out, and std error, and then we paste this. Yeah, So I guess that's good enough. I think it's so ugly that they make those. Whatever. Good enough. Well, this is not actually in my question, but I guess it's in their explanation. And also, I guess this is to do. Yeah, I can't use it in a file name. So let's instead use it. I'm almost doing the size thing here now. To redirect to and 1. And this is the header. There. Maybe we should just remove these. It's visible anyway. Oh. I tried to do something like that myself the other day, and kind of failed. I don't remember what I was trying to do, though. Yeah, I was actually trying to do kind of exactly this. But this didn't work. So I'm thinking maybe this is like also shell dependent, you know? So will this work in all shells? And it will say no, of course. It works at least in these. I remember I was actually trying to help someone with a box, I think. So, let's... I think I know what it means now. It's not cryptic for me anymore. But let's just read this at least anyway. So this creates a named pipe, meaning it creates a temporary file that's just like an IO. In out. And this is just a normal one. But we also have the input coming from this. 127. Oh my goodness. So read from. Receive data on the specified port will be redirected to. Again, let's actually read this. I didn't read it now. This part listens L on the specified port P for incoming connections from Netcat. The input for Netcat is set to read from the... Yes, gubben! Jag kommer snart! This means that any data received on the specified port will be redirected to... So, data received on the port. Now it's kind of doing GPT here, I think. Because this is not related, you know. This is this is sent here, not the other way, right? So sometimes you shouldn't really listen to it, because I guess this is what it does further down, because it goes both ways, you know? So here, this is redirected into this. And here, the output of this is sent to this, which is sent to this, meaning it goes round and round. And it also adds just the error. So nuances of shell is just like the E, you know. System default shell. This part redirects standard output to CDR to the shell to the FIFO. And I didn't really think about that this is a system default shell, but that's nice. Of course it is. This part redirects standard output, shell to the FIFO. Output produced with the shell. Yeah, but it's not the shell that produces that. Or is it? Because the input... Okay, so the input to the shell is from there, and the output, whatever. It goes round and round, but there's something in between, which is us. Finalist command removes the FIFO. It's not really round and round, it's us in between there. In the connection netcat. So, combining all this part, I don't need to read that. So, how would I explain this in my own words? Time for that now. So, easy explanation of this. I would call what they call a named pipe. I would call it let's use the real name, but also explain it. So FIFO creates a named pipe. That is a special file that works as an IO. There NC input the pipe output goes to NC. Both STD out and STD are redirected to NC. just a typo, creates a named pipe. That is a special file that works as an IO stream. The pipe output goes to NC. Both std_out and std_err are redirected to NC. I missed the shell step. The output of NC goes to a new shell. The output both out and std_err of the new shell and goes to NC. There, so the new shell, or in other words, us. There. Very short explanation. When finished, the named pipe file is deleted. So the only unclear thing for me is, why on earth do we have to do all this? This is what the E does in simplicity, and we have to work around it like this. And I of course want to improve it at once, but I guess I would never be able to. But I still want to. It sounds messy. Right, there are these examples on the start too. That's where I should find the notes for Netcad. Will it be very unfriendly to look at these? Let's see, no examples here. So here are the actual examples for this. So this is our machine, this is the other machine. This is the example. And let's actually copy this image. I like examples, and they are nice. So we have the image here. It should be put in a subdirectory of here called images. There it is. So this is an image of how this works, and we can see that we did use the correct commands. Yeah, and the bind version, meaning we listen on the target and we connect with our machine, and they have complicated it very unnecessarily by using a Windows one. So this screenshot is not as useful, but we also have the line here with CMD.exe instead, which is useful. So let's add that. Windows, and instead of this, okay, sometimes that's not nice, sometimes it is. I wanted to replace cmd.exe, and it's in path, of course, so we don't need one. lvnp port cmd.exe, so we have this there. They're just showing us unnecessarily that they first connect. Why? I mean, if you don't know any of this, this is just messing up your brain, which it did for me when I read this the first time. So, making sure that I have this one too, just IP port. And it's not any bash stuff. No. What did I do? Yeah, listen here. And then connect. And we don't have the connect bit, that's why I'm confused myself. So, this bit, we need this bit too. And it's just to type it. My goodness, it's hard to get these characters when they're not where I'm used to. So we just nc IP port. Well, this is learning. This is, you know, getting ingrained into my brain. Because usually I just type NC and I have all the stuff there already because I used it. No, I don't really look at what I'm doing. Maybe I should just type everything all the time. As you can see, this one's again just a code execution. And then they start talking about interactive shells and explain that. Yeah. So let's go back here. Now our notes for Netcat are starting to look like notes. We have the Netcat shells, reverse shell and the bind. And maybe we don't need this example image, but it's there for now. The example for this was not good, so we're skipping it. We have both the listen side, and if target NC does not have E. Let's add Linux here. If Linux target NC does not have E. And then we have the explanation. Should I indent this? Or rather, maybe this is more readable. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4 even. So we can see that this is the actual information and this is just information, sub-information. There. And we have not used any capitals here, so let's do the F tiny 2. So now we're using the same way of typing things as here. Yeah, I have not indented these though, but they're just one-line things. Maybe that's a better way to do it, like I used here. I was actually going to Control-C, not... Nah, I like it. We could, though... this is very important to have named here. Because there's a pipe in there and it could be confusing. The output goes of NC goes to the new shell, to a new shell. And then both of the new shell goes to NC. The new shell are, in other words, us. On the other computer. When finished, the name pipe is deleted. Connection with our machine. There. So, this is all clear now. So, let's see, how far did we get? This is the example here of this working. A very similar command can be used to send a netcat reverse shell. So, yeah, so it's the same thing. If we don't have the E, yeah, so this is a connect back without the E. Connect back without E. It's the send that confuses me here. Because why would they say they send a reverse shell? I would say that they connect to the reverse shell. Maybe it's me not liking their words. Because I don't like the bind. And I've just gotten used to the reverse shell. But why it's actually called that? I've never thought of it. So, this is just the same here. If Linux target NC does not have E, we'll have to work around it. And I think my kid wants his third meal of the day, and it's already just 10:30, you know. So, but I'm going to check in on him quickly to see that it wasn't anything else that he wanted. I told him that he has to wait a bit. We'll see. I'll be right back. Mamma? mindre än 2 timmar. Du behöver vänta lite till den tredje. Va? Sa du något? Okej. Jag vill inte att du ska... Va? Vad sa du? Okej. Tack, gubben. There. My kid. His bookmarks disappeared because he had a bad mouse and his dad fixed it yesterday. And he got it back and it apparently it just moved things around by itself. So he's back to the other mouse and we found the missing bookmarks. They were dragged into folder. So it's all solved. I'm going to pull them out there again. We found it all, and he's got something to eat. Anyway, there, and I'm just dusting off my mic there. So let's continue. So I'm kind of, what was I doing? Yeah, so Netcat reverse shell. We did add the same thing to our notes. So if the Linux target Netcat does not have E, we can use this. And the explanation is here. He's calling again. 1 second. Yes, Baban? Cookie? Chokladcookie eller? Jag hämtar en chokladkaka upp, tror jag. Va? Yes, I did not lick it. Yes. Different styles. Now I want mud cake too. Nah, I'm still eating my breakfast. Yogurt and muesli. And it's his third thing already. Though he woke up at like 2, so I understand him being hungry in the morning. So this done. Yeah, I was just going to add a note that explanation under bind shell. In case we have lots of more text here, so it's not so obvious, right? Should we tab that? Just have it like italic maybe. There. So all the notes done so far and all the understanding hopefully there. And if you don't get something, ask me. I think I understand it now. This command is virtually identical to the previous one, other than using the netcat correct syntax as opposed to the netcat listening. Well, it's the same thing. We know this, right? We know all of this now. So, when targeting a modern Windows server, it's very common to require PowerShell or reverse shell. So we're converting the standard one-liner PSH reverse shell here, covering. This command is very convoluted. So for the sake of simplicity, it will not be explicitly. Bye. It will not be explained directly here. I want it explained though. However, an extremely useful one-liner to keep at hand. Okay, so let's copy this. I know that I have already, but In order to use
Kitty
this, we
says.
need to replace.
Did you know when you wake up after sleeping, you open your eyes?
Oh, I'm not sure if I always do this. Sometimes I think I forget to open my eyes. Do you always open your eyes when you wake up? Today I kind of didn't for at least half an hour.
No, mine is still closed, so I can sleep longer, Noiki Wanyuwu.
Oh, cool. So this is a reverse shell. Kind of obvious, right? Though I have another one, but let's not put that in the notes. That's probably somewhere else in the notes, though. Yeah, so let's, if they don't explain it, and I'm not very good with the commands in PowerShell, so I'm thinking we'll ask ChatGPT later again. So we need to replace IP and port with an appropriate IP and choice of port. It can be copied into a CMD.exe shell. Yeah. And I have a file with one, but not this one. Do I have my... No. Let's open VMware. Or start, I guess. So, starting Kali. I'm moving my OBS to the other window. Other screen. And I didn't start my phone. No need to switch screens in the stream until at 2 hours and 5 minutes. Then you're focused, right? Or you're not focused running out getting food for your kids. There. So now I can switch screens. I just think I have to add this, of course, to my list. Yeah, and there was an IP in there, but not in the example, right? Is IP port here? Is IP port here? But here they replaced it. So thought so. I wasn't typing in the right window. There were no characters to delete. So since we're going to do try hack me, but first let's just I think if we do this like all the time, it should be kind of quick, right? Shouldn't be much here. Taking more time than expected. 66 megs of new. I do a little bit of things. No. I'm assuming 10 seconds. What do you think? Was I wrong? 124 megs. That's not much, so come on. Do. On my fourth screen, I usually just start the VPN. And I'm thinking I want to do this before I start the VPN. So poor TryHackMe don't have to. There. And today we do TryHackMe. So, and let's go to the first one. And let's open Mousepad. Oh yes, I made a new version, I think, there. Let's go open. Why are they not sorted as I want? Are they sorted? So this is the Tulu one. So let's compare this one to our new one. No, nothing to paste. I'm copying it again from the other screen. Yeah, so yeah, this one uses a variable. And this is with the PowerShell command. But otherwise, this is just using client instead. So if we were to remove this bit, and compare these. Also, let's save it so we have the formatting. This is shells. And this is revsh.ps1, but it's revsh2. And I don't think we have such a thing. So with the formatting, we can say we have new object, system netsocket. Oh, this is selected, that's why. Yeah, and this one has IP port, and this one has not my current info. Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Well, it was a lot of washing IKEA sheets and stuff, because we went shopping last week. So I mostly just washed IKEA sheets and stuff. But it was good. Did some other stuff too. You? What did you do? Did you have a great weekend? I hope so. So the other one, the Revsh only has the IP I have currently. That's a difference. So this is actually local. I don't know why I called it K, but that's the difference. Well, this is my TryHackMe IP. So TNTCL, and this one calls it stream. Get stream.
Just usual VR parties Noiki one Pinkie Pie.
Okay, VR parties sounds fun. So we're kind of similar here, yeah. You see, it's all the same. Read. Though this is Alastared's one with Cthulhu and cults. And there we have D, and there we have data. Net object type name, system text, ASCII encoding, .getString, .getString bytes. And there we have cult. Yeah, and there we have the oh.
Rage of Mid says.
Hey guys.
Sorry, I'm trying to help my mom. We need to sell her countryside house because it's too far to travel from Stockholm. It's over here, so it's kind of far to travel here in Sweden. So that was just the, what do you call it? The people selling houses. I sent them a message yesterday. So this has popped up at 11, reminding me that I'm supposed to study, and I am studying, so, right? And hi, welcome in Rate of Mind, and I just realized that I have been giving you the echo. Tell me that I forgot to put my earphones in. I can just remove the echo at once, you know? There. I think it's kinda in my ear now. So, there. I have to call my mom later. And my siblings. See who can go and meet up 3 hours away with the selling house people. Oh my god. In Swedish it's called mäklare. I don't, the English word doesn't pop up. So, let's continue. Yeah, right, we were comparing this. We were comparing these. And I was up to checking that the cult was this one here. and it's the same as the bytes. And then it says reads bytes, byte 0 byte length. So it's the same. NE0, NE0, data object name type name, system text ASCII encoding. I think I read this right. Get string, yeah, this was the bytes that I was thinking. Get string byte 0i. Yeah, byte 0i. So it's the same. It's the same so far. Then I have this again that we just researched. Oh yeah, there I got the phone number information on SMS. People still use SMS. I'm amazed all the time. Every time people send me an SMS. So then we have send back. So maybe this is kind of more clear. Send back. So after what? After the get string. So it's this one. EX is what's called send back in this one. And then it's send back to IX data. Yeah, it's the same, right? Out string, send back x2 plus CF plus PS. So it's not the same, because this one has CF and this one has PS. And PVD path, arrow, send a byte, encoding ASCII, show encoding ASCII. It's kind of similar but not the same. Text dot encoding, and this is text dot coding, ASCII. Oh, it is the same. X2, we just call send back to here. Stream.write. Let's look at this more carefully. So this one is shorter, which could be easier, but not if it's messing things up for your brain. And then we have I'm seeing the similarities here, you know, with what we did just before. So this one has changes. Stream flush, stream close. And this one has stream flush, not close. So there's a difference. This one has the close too. But very, very similar. So let's ask ChatGPT to explain this one to us. So let's go back to the left screen and go to the TryHackMe page. Let's copy this again. Should we make a new one? Well, it's on the theme, right? So please make this one-liner, several lines, structured lines, and then explain. So let's start at the top. Sure, let's break down the PowerShell one-liner. So I could have done this myself, but you know, laziness. I didn't even notice a while in there. Is it in there? Stream. Yeah, there we have the while. So, yeah, and it's much more readable like this, right? It's just the semicolons between. Essentially creates a reverse shell listener in PowerShell. It listens for incoming connections. Realize that I have nothing special in this ChatGPT. I'm just asking all this question. I don't ever get a. If you just formulate them as what does this do and stuff, you know. It doesn't complain about this being a reverse shell. Though when I change where my notes are at, I forgot that I had this exception for my rules in Defender. So it started, I think it 4 or 5 things that it was like, I have removed this file as a reverse shell. And that was just my notes for boxes. It's kind of funny actually. But of course I have it not to send automatically, so I just said don't send it and I added a new exception.
Hormel Chili Lover says.
Hey,
Hello!
you hacker.
I'm learning.
I need someone hacked.
Nah, that we don't do that, you know. So I'm focusing on my breakfast and
Why's
learning
that?
here.
Translated from Icelandic.
Nah, you know, you should be nice to people.
I need you to hack my grades.
Oh, that's so funny.
Make them good.
Mm-hmm.
No SRS. I'm gonna get kicked out.
Then focus on studying instead of this. But maybe you're
Just
studying
add like
here.
10%.
First of all, I'm a noob, right? So, and you should never do illegal things.
Figure it out. It will help you learn.
Then I can just reflect that question back to you, you know. Your lost post. And
What's that
maybe if
stupid
you do
voice?
that. Your voice, the TTS.
Kitty says.
You can set your voice if you want. And you're welcome to stay here and learn with me,
Hormel Chili Lover
teach me,
says.
or...
Sounds like a kid.
Yeah, you can set the voice. If you do, I can do it for you. Exclamation TTS. It was kind of suitable with the kid's voice for what you said, though. Don't you think? You can set your voice there. And also set how your name will be read. So.
I am 40.
But, dude, you asked us to hack a school and fix your grades. If you're an adult,
Yeah.
you would know. You shouldn't even say it, you know. Oh, so let's continue now instead. We have this better structure, not color coded though. So, let's can you still see if I kinda make the size tinier so we can see both at the same time? So client new object system netsockets TCP client IP port. This line creates a TCP client object connecting to the specified IP address and port. Kinda obvious. This line stream equals client get stream. This line gets the network stream for reading and writing data. So it uses this connection to be later able to send and receive data. And then this line, oops, too much. Byte, square parenthesis, double square parenthesis, in a very odd thing that I don't recognize. This line initializes an array of bytes to store incoming data. So I was kind of assuming that this was the case, but I don't know the syntax of this. How this works. I guess this is the size, and maybe this is the format, or how much space for each of them. So this is not good enough. In more detail, please. Always be nice. So now it says, this line initializes an array of bytes named bytes. It's set to the size of 65, 0 to 65, 35. Okay, so this is the initialization to 0. Okay, so it's a byte array which is initialized to 0. Nice. Then I know what this means. Then we have the while, and it's obviously reading from the stream here. Bytes 0, byte length here. Now we need more information about this one. NE is could it be? Well, I shouldn't guess when we can read what it is. Let's do it down here. This initializes a loop that continues as long as data is being received from the network stream. Inside the loop, this one line reads data from the network stream to the bytes array. It returns the number of bytes read, which is stored in the variable I. So yeah, so the data is stored in bytes and the number in I, right? Byte length, meaning it reads this amount of data at a time, or tries to. Still not detailed enough. Data, new object name. It also doesn't explain this. I'm thinking it's not 0, but I don't know. Well, we know as long as it's something there anyway. As long as the length is not 0, that is. Well, what if it's just slow? Data, new object, type name, system text, ASCII encoding, parenthesis, dot get string byte 0 I. And here we have the bytes and the length. Here the received bytes are stored in bytes, are converted to a string using ASCII encoding. Yeah. So it creates a new object that's a string here with ASCII encoding from the bytes data of this length. I couldn't type this, I couldn't write this code, but I can understand it to that level. I need to learn PowerShell. The string, oh my, that was a rough thing to put my knee on. Just checking time. Yeah. Here, the received bytes are stored in bytes or converted to a string using ASCII encoding. The substring from index 0 to I. I'm not actually reading what I'm reading. I should listen instead of thinking about I have to make lunch for the kids. Yeah, I already know what this means, so why do I keep reading it? Because I want to make sure, I guess. Yeah, anyway. Send back IX data R21. Still here, you know? So IX data outstring. Executor receives command. Using the IX command that invokes expression. Redirects error to standard output, ensuring that both are captured. Outstring commandlet converts the command output to a string. So this makes a string of the data we had. No, of what's sent back. The output of it. It runs this and makes a string of the output, which is the sendback. Okay. Sendback 2 is sendback plus PowerShell prompt PS. Okay. So we just make a prompt here. Okay. So that's why there's a difference here. This is the only difference, really. One of the two differences. This one has CF and this one has PS. And the CF is just the prompt. And this is Cthulhu, I guess, again. It could be something else. But it is Alhazred's thing, so... let's just read this again without laughing. So it converts the actual output of the command into a prompt too. Right? It adds the prompt to the end of it. The command output and is concatenated with a PowerShell prompt PS followed by the current path and the prompt character. This constructs a response string back to the client. Okay. So this is not necessary. This is just fluff. Send byte. So apparently we convert it back. We convert it to ASCII, but it's already ASCII. This line converts the response string to ASCII. I guess it wasn't ASCII. Necessary to send data over the network stream. Stream write. I'm seeing them get an error message when trying not to do this. I'm like, well, why wasn't I already using ASCII? But I guess they're not, because it's modern stuff, you know. Stream write, send byte length. So we're learning how the write and read works, right? It's a length at the end. This is something we need to look into. And we have stream write, the actual variable, the length of the variable, or what we're sending. Reference store and send bytes are written to the stream. Yeah, and this sends the data back. Stream flush ensures that all data on the stream is sent immediately. It's a good practice to flush the stream to make sure data has been left buffered. Close. Finally, the TCP client connection is closed using the close method, and this Al didn't have. Releases network resources associated with the connection. Overall, this PowerShell one-liner sets up a TCP server that listens for incoming connections, reads commands from the client, executes them, captures output, and sends it back to the clients. It effectively creates a reverse shell-like functionality, allowing remote interaction with a PowerShell session. And the only thing is that I would want more information. So let's do, please take the PowerShell functions used here and explain all parameters used. Also, please explain any there. So we're taking the opportunity to learn PowerShell. So create a .NET framework or COM object. This new object. Yeah. System NetSocket TCP clients. This specifies the type of object to create. And this is in System NetSockets. And it's TCP client. Type of object. IP and port is obvious. Client get stream. Retrieve network stream associated with the TCP client object. Client. This stream allows reading and writing data over the TCP connection. While, and this is where we want, yeah, not equal. I assumed, but I wanted to know. So -NE is a very ugly way to say not equal in my mind. I would prefer exclamations equal, right? This is a loop construct that continues executing the enclosed block of code as long as the condition, well, that's just a while. I stream read, and what I wanted it to explain here was the parameters. So let's see if it does explain the 0, because that's the purpose of this question. This line reads data from the network stream. Yes, we wanted explanation of the functions or methods. Maybe I should say methods. So it did not explain what I wanted it to. I wanted the functions / method parameters explained, i.e. What is the 0 in failed paste copy, I mean. And similar. There, let's go up and read while it types. Yeah, we were done here. It didn't tell us anything new. We confirmed that it's not equal any. New object type, yeah, get string. So it won't be thorough enough. I know it already. This creates a new instance of the ASCII encoding class. Yeah, but I wanted to know details. Get string. But it's already over here. What other options do we have when we create this? Okay, I should have asked other questions, or I will have to ask more questions. Discovered bytes. to string. Okay, so the 0 here is the starting index. Okay, that's probably the reply to all of the zeros. It just didn't say here, but this is a bytes from 0 to length. So from 0 to length, that's probably it, you know. But it didn't say here. And probably not definitely. So IX is invoke expression. Data is a variable name. Yeah, we know all about this one, right? This commandlet converts command output to a string. String out. Yeah, we already read that. So send back to, and we know what this does. We don't need any more information. So let's see here. 0 offset with the buffer we read begins. Yeah, confirmed. Let's see. It just took the 3 ones. And they work the same, which is nice. My arm hurts. Sorry. Oh. So, I'll go and start making food for my kids in like half an hour, but I'll probably be streaming a bit more. So we'll see. The question is, do we want to dig into this more? Or should we just put PowerShell on a to learn list? This is kind of good start, I guess. I did know PowerShell like when it was new. Kinda new. Knew more than now. But now now is not then. So I was going to the notes. Apparently it was hard to tab there. So I think I have it to learn. So let's put PowerShell like coding. Cause I hardly even know simple commands. I just use the Linux aliases. And that's kind of, you know, I started with Windows or with DOS, not with Linux, or yeah, I kind of did. Anyway, I have some pain from my stupid back, and it goes like on the right side. Not much to care about. In order to use this, we need to replace and can be copied into CMDXE, and that's why they have the PowerShell C bit that we don't have in the other one. So to use this as a command. So this is actually kind of the same. We don't need to look at that anymore. So I minimize this too. So if we go back to PowerShell, run this at CMD prompt. If at PS skip PowerShell see. Yeah, kind of obvious, but now it's there. Also saved in revsh2.ps1 on my Kali. In case someone else reads it, they don't have this. Oh. Oh. Just stretching a bit. And I also have not finished my breakfast, which is kind of much, though, I guess. So, let's continue. We understand this much better now, right? We know that, to read through it quickly, client is set as a new TCP client connected to this IPM port. The stream is the data I/O of this. We create a byte array and zero it. It's the size of 65,535 or 6. And we read until we don't get anything more, until the length is 0, into the bytes from the stream with the length of our bytes here. And this is this is put into bytes. We start reading at 0 too. We read from 0 to bytes length, and byte length should be this. And then data is set to a new object, which is a string, because it's converted to a string here at the end. Or rather, new object type name. It's created a text with ASCII, I guess, and gets a string this, and then it will become with this encoding. If it wasn't already, it's kind of which is first here, because the object that is created is not the same as saved into data, because it's a part of it is converted before, right? This is kind of a tiny bit messed up in my mind. And then we run the data, which is assumed to be a command, by invoke expression. Trying to remember the words. And we also send along the error output to the out string. With string, we convert this to a string in a different way than, because here we got the string bytes 0 to the length. We got the length what we read here. And if we didn't use this or just use the bytes length, we wouldn't have gotten it, because we had this length. So that's logical, and I'm sorry if I'm messy and not explaining good. And then just ask if anything is unclear. I'm just repeating for myself. So when it's converted to a string and put into sendback, the output of the command that we sent there and its error output is put in the sendback. Then we add to the end of this output a prompt with the path, current path. And then we encode this. We take these bytes, encode them to ASCII, and put them in the send byte. So why not do these things in one go? It's so unoptimized. And then we write this back to ourselves, to the stream, and use its length, and 0 to length, all of it. Shouldn't this be the default if you don't set any parameters? And then we flush the stream and close the stream. And I'm also looking for the other friend parenthesis to this one, because this is the while. This must be the while, yeah. Here, that's where it starts. So this is the contents of the while. And the semicolon's only purpose is to make this one line. So that's the only thing the semicolons does, and that's the only thing that makes this one-liner. It's just the code with semicolons in between, making it very easy to make a one-liner in PowerShell. Nice. And then this one closes after the while, which is the only difference with the one that we have, the Cthulhu one from Alethred, and also variable names. So the close and the does not be in PS. In order to use this, we need to replace IP and port. Yes. It can be copied into the CMD exe. Yes. Or another method of executing commands on a Windows server, such as a web shell, and execute it, resulting in a reverse shell. Yeah, and maybe we should like add this to our web shell to real shell, reverse shell nodes, because we have such nodes. And it's called something here, web shell to NC. For Windows, use and then we have the possibility to just add notes like this, links. So we do that. We don't want to copy stuff and then we change it and update it, and it's not updated in both places. So this will link to this. So for other common reverse shell payloads, payload all the things. And we should have payload all the things. Don't I have it here? Rev shells, Cyberchef. No, I think I have it underneath this more. Payloads all the things, both the page, and I think I prefer the GitHub. But well, you never know what you want tomorrow, right? Reverse shell cheat sheet, yeah. So it's directly going to this GitHub. So what if we use this instead? The non-GitHub. And reverse shell cheat sheet. I guess the reverse shell cheat sheet should be here too, right? I'm just blind, probably. So yeah, so this is the link. Documentation, mythology and resources folder. Not here. I'm trying to learn how this works. That's why I'm looking like this. looking at it like this. So I guess we'll go anyway to this page, meaning there's no reason to even think of other ways. And this is not the best place for reverse shells in my experience so far. This one is. So let's look what this does with PowerShell. So we have PowerShell, and here we can see we close everything. This is good coding. And they also make variables of L and R, L host and L port, which is kinda, I guess, standardized, but still sounds very Metasploit to me from we recently used it. Network stream, get obvious stream reader, new stream writer. This is definitely different. Auto flush true, stream buffer, this is a different one. While data available. This is more advanced, better coding. Using function data available instead of just is there, while there's no zero data, you know, where there's zero length data of the data we read. Well, there's not, I mean. So this one, NOP, see, this does another thing. It does NOP too. New object, TCP client, stream client, get stream. This is the one we used. So, yeah, and it ends with the client close. Yeah, this is the one with the PS and everything here. Also send back to. So this is exactly the one we had. And then we have another one. PowerShell NOP W hidden noni EP bypass. See, I'll have to try this one because in my trying to reach stuff here. In this, my DigiSpark stuff. DigiSparks. There I used the L one, and I had some problems with it. Well, problems with it. But it's probably a step before. No, it's not open there. It's probably in the. Is this the old one then? Yeah, it's white. So let's see. Let's learn here. So this uses this. Web client download string, and then it executes the string that is downloaded, which is this script. But if we could put more options here to PowerShell, like hidden, we could make it better. So this is good learning. Because when we pop the... No, let's see, this is not what we wanted. No, it was what we wanted, my goodness. That's very, very messed up to miss what you're actually looking for. So let's open it again. Also, the size was so much bigger, right? And also I still have to try to run this at the setup instead of here. Why? You know, why? Not run it in setup, and why is it stopping the loop? For people not used to Arduino, there's a setup which is run once, and there's a loop that's run for infinity. And this stops it from running for infinity by adding an eternal loop at the end for it just to use this once. Why didn't it put it up here? But I'm thinking it might be a DigiSpark limitation of memory or something. That's how this is put in memory later. That they're working around some part of Arduino Studio's horribleness. I really have to look into getting it to work with. Oh, it's just Atmos Studio. If I hold my mouse, there's this Microchip Studio. So Atmos Studio cannot start because it's missing something when I'm trying to start Microchip. That's so cute. Yeah, probably removed something and moved stuff around. Anyway, I would like to have better control. I used this a lot of years ago to program Arduinos at a lower level than Arduino Studio, because it adds stuff. I want to, have control on what it puts in the memory of the tiny things, because there's not much memory to put stuff in. So yeah, we could do like use these things here. I imagine we'll have to look at this. So let's actually use this again. Please explain some command. NUP stands for no profile. When PowerShell starts, it loads the user's profile if it exists, which contains user-specific settings and preferences. The NUP parameter prevents PowerShell from loading any profile, ensuring a clean environment. W hidden. This parameter sets the window style of the PowerShell process to hidden. It runs PowerShell in the background without displaying any visible window to the user. This is commonly used for running scripts silently without user interaction. So this is definitely what we want, right? So this bit we do want here. We want it here. I'm not sure if this can be done. We will see. Adding as a test. Will this work without C? This parameter sets the Windows style of the PowerShell process to hidden. It runs PowerShell in the background. Yes, I read. So, no NI stands for non-interactive. It prevents PowerShell from running interactively. Interactivity mode allows PowerShell to prompt the user for input, but the no NI any attempt to prompt the user will result in an error. Maybe that's good, because we don't want the user of the machine, especially if it's hidden. EP bypass sets the execution policy to bypass. Execution policy in PowerShell determines what scripts can be run on the system based on their digital signature. By setting it to bypass, PowerShell will not enforce any execution policy, allowing all scripts to run. Okay, sounds like cheating. C. Some command. This part allows you to specify a command or script to execute. In this case, some command should be a press actual command. Yeah. I just put it there so it wouldn't say, oh, you need a command to, or focus on something else instead of what I wanted to do. So now let's actually ask it about this one. And let's see. So if I copy this and do this, will these work with a command executed like this, or will I have to change it to use C? And we'll also change this, right? Because we don't want this to be here already. And yeah, I want to know if it complains about this, because it's never complained about anything when I ask my questions, you know. So these are just because it's in the C string there.
To Fantastic says.
Fix it 42 wave.
Hi, to Fantastic, welcome in. Good morning, or whatever it is. I'm sorry I can't keep track of everybody's time zones. Will these work on the command execute like this? I'll have to use C.
Noon break.
Yeah. Same time zone. It's about to. I should go and make the kids lunch in a minute. In an actual minute, not just in a minute. In a minute. And I'm still working on my breakfast. And one of my kids already ate 3 things, so I'm thinking this will probably not be a lot of lunch making today. I'm curious now if it will complain, you know. Like, you shouldn't send reverse shells to people or something. Or if it will just answer as it usually does, right? Just answering. I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? In your provided command, you're executing PowerShell directly without a C parameter. Let's see how the other parameters would work in this context. Yeah, exactly what I asked you. So just don't explain it, just do it. This parameter can still be used without issues. It prevents PowerShell from loading user profiles. This parameter contains the visibility of the PowerShell window. However, since you're executing PowerShell as a command line without a window, it's being run in the current command prompt. Setting the window has no effect. No, this parameter prevents PowerShell from running interactively. Will also work fine. Interactive features are typically not used when running PowerShell commands in this manner. EP bypass. The parameter allows script to download files from URL executed without restrictions, so still relevant and necessary in this case. Yeah, and maybe if I use these, I won't have to turn off Defender to run this as a test. I was also thinking about doing other stuff too, but maybe this is enough. It shouldn't be enough. So, for provided command, you can keep them up, no, and EP bypass parameters, but the V hidden parameter won't have an effect. There's no visible PowerShell window too. If you use the C parameter execute command as part of a script, you would retain all the parameters. So, I should just add C to the command. If you're looking to incorporate your PowerShell command with the C parameter, you should modify the command like so. Yeah. And it's currently helping us with this. Shouldn't it be like saying it shouldn't help us with this? I just heard people complaining, I think that if you start asking the questions like they're really fact-based, like, please explain this, it's kind of lost in thought. I don't know how it's set up to check for these things, but apparently it doesn't care. Well, if it, you know what I mean. It's not caring about anything. It's not even AI. So I'm thinking we should probably just fix our command to be this. So let's copy this.
You can probably bypass by asking in different ways.
Yeah, but I haven't needed to bypass anything. That's the thing, Maybe it's just the way I usually ask things. I'm not saying like, how should I modify my command to bypass Defender? I'm saying, what do these parameters do? Can I use them for this? It should be obvious. It's called revsh. Here. Though it isn't local IP, if it matters. So, I just added this bit because I thought I'd try, but if we comment the old one instead, and we add this here. And this was not what we were going to do. This is just like happened. This just happened. So what I need to do is to escape this and this last one. And I mistyped. Why? Did I actually? Yeah, I typed the wrong key. So, and then we need the, oh my god, it's annoying to type at the end of the line like that. We need the end of that. There. So now this is modified to include the bits that we learned from this. So learning when we find things, so we can hopefully use this now. I don't know. I'll have to put this onto the Digispark, which takes like a few seconds though. So the question is, should we just continue with what the shell? We were kind of done with this where we was. So the next step is to continue on here with MSF Venom. So I'm kind of thinking we can dig into this. I'm just reading the questions. A named pipe in Linux, MK FIFA, look through the link payloads, all the thing. Yeah. Languages available. We actually didn't look as much as that, but went to this instead. So let's just quickly look at the last PowerShell ones. TLS. We don't have time to look into these now. And why do they have a special base64 encoded when you can just base64 encode anything? That's a good question, right? So if we change something else with, for example, this one that we looked a lot at, so we can't change anything here, no. Because I was kind of thinking, so we can encode it here, but that's all of the thing, not just bits of it. And that we have other tools for. But it was kind of interesting to have these different options when we looked very much at this one and compared this one, which is Al's, with this one, which was in the TryHackMe room, and they're kind of the same. We just have the client close and we have PS. That doesn't say which one was like the first. But it's also in here and in a lot of other places, I assume. So yeah, so this was the one that looks for data available and more, well, I guess you need a higher level of understanding how it works, but also this could be like things it could recognize, and this could be a way to obfuscate it, right? Well, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. And here we found this bit, which we'll try to use later. And the line is just too long here. I'm going to go check on my kids and see what they want for lunch, cause in about an hour I'm driving away with my youngest to his school. So he'll have to eat before then. So I guess I'll be back in hopefully not very long.
Fix it 42 like.
Just putting up a information there that just getting lunch. Be right back. Just get back. Now we have a pizza in the oven. So this one, let's see, right, all this on. So this is connected to my computer, admittedly. I'm not using any other cameras today. Though I'll probably do a... So we have two unused ones. One is keyboard. This is Rickroll. There's a rev shell already on it, so we'll just update it and see. So when I plug it in, it will be 5 seconds where you can update it, and then it runs. So that's how they work. So what we need to do now, first let's confirm we have the new one here. It's a bit longer. We have this bit of text extra instead of just PowerShell. And this will be run at the run. These keystrokes here are actually made for US keyboard, meaning I should switch to US keyboard, or I will have to find my own numbers, which I could for Swedish keyboard, but I have not yet, at least. I've seen there are like files for other languages out there, but I haven't seen Swedish. So as a digikeyboard.h, it's US keyboard. We could use Swedish, but we can also see Swedish keyboard as a security feature here. You plug in stuff into the USB port and they don't work because it's the wrong keyboard. So yeah, we still have the lunch message up there because I'm going to go again. Before, let's just start. Let's click verify, which compiles it. And this is almost C, you could say. Oh my goodness. So we use 47%. And this is obviously connected to our VM, right? So we need to fix this. This is the shell it will download, and this is supposed to be the right IP. Hopefully it didn't change, but we need to share this. You know, we need to do this in the directory where it is, and that's actually CD shells right now. So let's start a Python server here. You can see what I'm doing. So we're just sharing the files in this directory. We also need to turn off the VPN, so because we have the wrong IP. And now we should have our normal IP. We can just open a tab here and do my IP, and we can see that the IP address is correct that we have in this there. We also need to listen with Netcat. And I'm kind of thinking we should have both windows open, right? So let's actually open a separate. So if we don't have this maximized, we don't have this maximized either. So we can see both. Something like this. So we can see if the file is guarded and if the shell is the reverse shell is connected. So we can see both of them. But we're ready for that. But first, I'm just getting something for me to at least drink. I have to drink a bit of water first. Also, I'm going to get a pizza timer to my kid. And check on my other kid quickly. My 16-year-old found my new YouTube channel. I had to show him. I'll just heat one more food up, then I'll be with you for a bit, and then I have to run. So, just a sec more. Uh, I got all the questions from my 16-year-old now. Oh my, that's so typical. Sofia? Sorry, sorry. My 16-year-old needs a new school because he's growing out of the old one. So that's one of the schools, or the one we hope for, that called. So priority one, you know. Let's get rid of this sign. Was I muted or not? I don't even know. Because I unmuted, I think. We'll see. And you can hear me. So here we have the DigiSpark that has the older reverse shell thingies on it.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see now. We have these running here still. Long ago now. Sorry for all the delays. So of course we want to do this now, and then we just have this ready to plug in here, and we click the upload button, and for these, plug in the device. We have 60 seconds to do it, so there, plugged in. Oh, I forgot to switch the keyboard. It won't work because I forgot the keyboard. Or did it work? Seriously? Look at this. Maybe it remembered. No, it didn't remember the keyboard. Nothing. But it's supposed to not work, you know. I was just like, well, was anything happening at all? Okay, so the PowerShell is no special characters. It's after that the special characters come. We can look at it. If we look, Control R. Right. So Windows R, of course. So the characters will be wrong here. Yeah, you can see all the characters here, right? This is like an A. So we get the wrong results. We need to switch the keyboard to English US and be on the right program when we do it. And I'm going to switch over to just display when we plug it in again. So we'll have to, we don't have to burn it again, you know. We can actually have this up. So maybe this wasn't a problem. And make sure that even if I'm clicking here, so we have English keyboard here now. English US, and actually let's just pull up a notepad here on the Windows side. So it has something. We can focus on this one and make sure it has English keyboard. And there's where I leave it. And
Patrikum says.
Rubber copy.
Translated
yeah,
from Swedish.
Yeah, it is. So let's plug it in. Ooh. Not drop it then. Plug it in instead. So we'll see what happens. Also, you can't see my. It's a delay first. Now it's typing the command. So we did get an error actually with this new. We're trying the new command here. So Windows can't access a specified path or file, not appropriate permissions. So no, sorry, wrong one. So what we didn't get now was a PowerShell pop-up window. So if we Windows R, I never use it myself. Now we should be able to see if this is at least has the correct keys typed in. No, it doesn't. It's the wrong keys. Is there a way to clear this? You know, oh, I've never done this before. Here you can see wrong keyboard and the wrong keyboard. So correct key, wrong keyboard, right, wrong, right. Yeah, and we also had it running this one. So let's just what should we do? Just do something so we know that this is a new one, you know. So let's click this one. All right, it did that again. So I just want the latest one to be something else than that command, so we can see that it actually did it.
Yes, whether I get it, you can clear you evidence.
Yeah, I guess you could go into Regedit and remove them, but now we have when we open it, we get this one, so we can see that in the history that the last one was us, right? So if I close this, we're active here with English keyword, and we should make a Swedish file, right, for this keyword. So this just runs once, so we need to unplug it. And if this doesn't work, I still have to leave because time passes by. So let's see. Otherwise we'll just try the old one again, you know. So it should get an error reasonably, right? We should get an error, but now we can see if we have. Yeah, I think we have the right keys now. So our new try to add a better command for this didn't work. So the old one, this is the old one, PowerShell there, and now we tried this bit that we found here. We tried to add it to our old thing. This works. But you have to turn off Defender. So now Defender is running and on. So this was just a test to see how it would react. And we don't have permissions, which is very reasonable. So Windows can't access the specified device, path, or file. You may not have appropriate permissions. So maybe we don't have permissions to run the C, but we have permissions. So let's if we just imagine, what's the error message if we remove the new bit? This is the new bit. I assume we don't have permissions for the other thing, but we have permissions to open PowerShell. And we'll probably get a Defender message here now. No, actually, it is connecting. So this worked. The old one worked. So
you can steal some gummy Yonka script to do the keyboard hacking tricks.
yeah. It's so fun when you mix, Swedish and English, it doesn't translate. So now at least we have, let me click this. So we have the reverse shell, which is kind of interesting because I think I didn't get that before. What I would like though is to hide this window, because if we close this window now, let's have it open on top here. So when I close this, I think the connection disappears. Yeah? And you wouldn't want that, right? You want the window to be hidden. And that's why we tried this new thing, which we don't have permissions to do. So now we know that we don't have permissions and why we're just using this. So this didn't work, this test, because we don't have permissions. So we'd have to find some other way to do it. So, oh my, I have English keyboard now.
It's time to get back to work. Lunchtime over, see you.
Yeah, see you. I'm going to actually raid someone now, because I'm going to drive my kid in 15 minutes to school. So I'll just switch to Swedish keyboard. Have a great day, Patrick. Ha en bra dag. And thanks for popping in here. I better speak mostly English, There, so let's save it in a working state. So that's kind of nice, I think. So we have this other one, and I was going to just add a comment. No perms for the below. Check more. There. So we remember what we were doing and what that was. So We have lots of new notes. We tried some new stuff with our Digispark, which is still connected, by the way. We should probably do it. And we did get the Rust shell. And as I assumed, when we close the obvious PowerShell window down, it closes, which we wouldn't like. So we'll have to play around with the settings there. But the point of this was actually to do reverse shells. So I know that I just thought of this thing. It was just a parenthesis there. So who's online, people? Who's online? Who can we raid? Right, we have Twitch on. So we have Andy. I guess we have no. Let's check this one. Oh, there's someone I've never seen. Let's see, who is this? What is this? Oh, we'll have to. It's nothing there yet anyway. Okay, so I think this might be some kind of comfort or something. I will just raid for now. Let's raid Andy. I know that this was not the theme of today, but sometimes we do like stream about stuff and things. So, and he's raided me, so we have to raid. Alright. So have a great day, everybody, and thanks so much for being here. And yeah. I'll have to. I have to hurry a bit, cause in 13 minutes I have to drive away with the car, you know. So I hope my kid has eaten his food done soon. Yeah. Thanks for being here, and hope you learned something with me.
Says.
Night to
Fix it 42 like.
Maybe I'll do a stream a bit later at his school. Maybe I'll do that. Take a bit of walk in the forest there again. So I'm clicking the raid now. Bye.